Righto guys, so this is a little 3.7 Quintrex Outback on the Mozzie trailer. So you can see it's got the wheels on it. This is a registered trailer. I haven't got it plate yet, but it is a registered trailer. So I can take this off the top of the dot, hook it up to the back of my truck and drive to the boat ramp. And there's the dot there. So here's the dot 7. Now as you can see, and you might have seen some pics, it certainly looks a little unwieldy, ungainly when it's up top there. But you know, it's actually, you know, it's not that heavy. And we've got the 7-foot dot, we've got the spare tyre on the front to help balance it out. It's a little bit longer drawbar, so we've taken some steps to, you know, make sure the balance is right. You can see the spare tyre there on the front, and also we've added a bit of length. Once it's up as well, you can see about a 3.7 is the maximum length you can really work on. These trailers are sort of custom made. I had a lot of trouble trying to put it together. Normally you would take your vehicle or trailer to Mozzie, the company down in Echuca, and they would fit it for you. We had a bit of trouble, but now that we know what we're doing, it went together really easy. And once it's together, it's so easy to operate now. People are saying, why don't you just turn it upside down? Well, that's what everyone else does. You can turn it upside down, put it on top of the trailer, yeah, but then all of your gear has to go somewhere else. So fishing gear is not that heavy. We've got a fishing rods, we will have your fuel, your motor, your safety gear, all of that stuff. If you, in your crab pots, you're going to turn upside down, all of that's got to take out. I've carried upside down tinnies on the truck and trailer before, and you know, it's a fair job lifting it on and off. Even if we got 3 metre punt, you know, and it's a fair job lifting that on and off and then playing around with the motor. It's a big job. And you've got to store all your gear elsewhere. The best place to store all your fishing gear is inside the boat. Another thing, that's 20 horsepower 4-stroke, and it weighs about 60 kilos. And people are saying, just, you know, why don't you just put a bracket on the back of the trailer and sit it there? Well, that's not an easy thing to do. I basically can't lift that on my own. You need 2 people. And if you're going to get to where you want to put the boat in, you know, it's a big job to turn that tinny upside down and, you know, load it full of all your gear, put the motor on, hook it all up. So while this looks a little ungainly on top, it has a lot of advantages. Is that in 5 minutes you can get your boat off, put it straight in the water, and away you go. Kyle's going to show us how it loads up. Let's go, mate.
Yep. All right.
And so yeah, it looks a bit ungainly for sure, but you watch how it operates. So the secret's in these couple of extension poles.
The secret's in the operator, not the operation.
Yeah, right. Kyle reckons he knows what he's doing. Well, you didn't seem so confident yesterday, mate.
Yeah, we got it down pat now.
Kyle had the shits big time yesterday.
All right.
Couldn't get it to work, and we had so much trouble, but we did know what we're doing, and now we do. So
you want me to start like explaining what we've done so far?
Yeah, just quickly, yeah.
So basically, we've got the winch on the front. That's hooked all the way to the back of the drawbar. So it's pulling from an eyelet way out the back.
Yep.
So you see how that works in a minute. And also there's a roller on the front here.
There's the winch connection there.
Nice little synthetic rope. And you've got a roller on the front here, on the front of the hitch, and that's what the rope's going to roll on until it gets past the top point. Then it's just going to pull straight from the back, and the drawbar will be nice and high up in the air.
And there's a little winch motor up here. And I said the other day these were 9,000. They're not 9,000. That was the boat. The boat and the motor was 9,000. The little winch motor. I think it's around 7,000. Okay, but that also includes, I believe, you know, there's a day's work fitting this up to your individual trailer or vehicle. So $7 grand, and once you see it in operation, it's a fair bit involved. And you know, there's nothing else that does this. Right, mate, let's go, eh?
Yeah, so if you see here, like this is pretty heavy, like you only just lift the front out, right? So once you see it go up, it's like, that's really good.
Yeah.
So, start lifting.
that.
So basically now, we're going to keep winching until we can hook these two poles up, and then we'll hook those onto the chassis, and then when those lock out, it'll bring the back end of the trailer up. So about now, we can just lock these arms out.
I mean, it's quite brilliant, isn't it, how it works? Wait till you see this, it's pretty cool.
Alright, so now we've got the lower arms locked in. There's a bolt halfway along there, so when they lock out, that's what it's going to pivot off and bring the back of it up. So, you can see here, we've locked out on the bolts through the poles, so that's about where it's going to start pivoting up. Now, once it starts pivoting on this point at the end here, it's sort of easy to maneuver it from the back because it's pivoting on the middle there. So if it starts to go off course a little bit, you can just hold onto it and keep it on course really easy.
Yeah, it's not...
You can see there, it's quite easy to pivot there, but as long as you've got one hand on it, you can get it. Right.
Just like that. The tinny's up there. Now we might make a canvas cover to go on top so it's you know, dust free, etc. And we're probably going to move the whole thing forward a little bit. I'm mindful of where your front hitch point is. But yeah, it all locks down once it's on, straps down. We've only done this a couple of times, so a few tricks to it.
You just got to figure out at what point you stop winching and get the arms off, so that's something we're going to work out at the moment.
And you've taken the wheels off now?
Yep.
So the wheels just come off. They can go in the toolbox. Now a rooftop tent, say rooftop tent family on top of this trailer is about 120 kilos. You know, this boat is a little bit more than that. Probably around 200 kilos for the whole thing. But what we've done to mitigate that is we've got a low canopy, so it's 100 mils lower than a normal trailer. We've got a 7-foot trailer, so it's a longer trailer. We've got a longer drawbar. We've got independent suspension so we can lower that trailer down. And now if you're going down the highway with the independent, you can lower it down on the airbag so it's not as high. And we haven't driven this down the highway to 110, but I don't expect there's going to be any problems. And obviously, like we said, it's not aerodynamic, but so what, you know, your boat's there. I don't expect there to be any issues driving down the highway to 100 k's an hour, 110. Now, we've got to test that out yet and we'll show you the results, but I think it'll handle quite well. And that's it. So within literally 5 minutes, you can be in the water and off you go.
That's a big boat. Like, that's motor on as well. We don't have to touch the motor.
Yeah.
And that is a huge, like, that is a decent sized boat and it goes up there effortlessly.
For most, you know, if you're retired and you're doing your lap around Australia, you know, you're not going to be able to lift that motor on and off all the time, eh? And but it's so good that that's the big key. The motor's on there, the boat's upright, and I think it's a brilliant setup. You know, if you're going to go to the Cape or the Gulf, the big question is, do you take your tinny or take your trailer? You know, well, you can take both. Now, it doesn't have a rooftop tent, but you can, no problems, put a rooftop tent on your vehicle if you wanted to, or just camp in your Oz tent and your swag. So it's a fully set up .7 equip with the kitchen, fridge, all the gear. And yeah, I reckon it's not a bad little setup. Now we didn't know, we just tried it. I haven't seen anyone else do it. Gave it a go, and that's the result. So now we've got to play around with it and see how it travels on the road and see how it goes. But the concept is there, it's working, and that's how it operates. Righto, good on you. Righto, so I've got the 76 and I've got the new Mozzie boat loader on the dot trailer behind me, and we thought we'd give it a quick drive. First time I've driven with it, and yeah, it definitely looks high and a bit ungainly, but you know, we're on the Buckets Way. I'm doing 95, pretty shitty old rough road this Buckets Way. It's twisty, it's windy, it's a lot of potholes, and honestly I can't even hardly feel the trailer. As you'd expect for a dot, you know, I mean it's a V8, so I can't really feel it. I don't feel the wind resistance at all driving, and Kodo's behind us in a vehicle as well. He's heading to Sydney, so he's just behind us and checking how it looks as well. And I can pretty much drive down this Buckets Way as I normally would without any problem. I'm only doing 90, 95. Not going to do 100% on the freeway today, but I can't see any problems at all. You know, the boat is quite aerodynamic itself, so the winch is going to cut around the tinny pretty well. And you know, yeah, I'm doing 100. No worries at all. Can't hardly feel it. I mean, this is a 7-foot trailer, so it's a bit longer. It's a longer drawbar. I've got the spare tyre on the front, so it's nicely balanced. We've got the drawbar weight absolutely spot on, about 10% where it should be. So the drawbar weight is really good. It's not like it's rear heavy or front heavy, it's just towing beautifully. And yeah, how's it looking there, mate?
Yeah, I've got a minute and a half video. I can't talk and film at the same time, mate. So if you want to film it, I say, yeah, it's looking good or whatever, but
Yeah, g'day guys, so here we are with the Mozzie boat loader on top of the dot in our backyard. We're just going to try and get a quick video just on my phone and show you how it unloads. So, I mean, I think a lot of people aren't quite getting the concept, which is the boat's upright, motor attached. You know, the tinny itself is 100 kilos and the motor 60, so it's not something we want to turn upside down and then get to the boat ramp and, you know, flip that over again. The idea is the boat is ready to go, and it's actually on a trailer. Okay, so this is a registered trailer. Now we haven't got the plate yet, but this will be a registered trailer that comes off, put the wheels on and drive to your boat ramp. So anyway, that's the plan, and we're going to do a quick little video. Kyra's going to show you how we get this off. Right, mate?
So first we'll drop the suspension down. There it is. So we've already plugged in our winch box. So that's just straight into the unregulated input-output from the battery, and that plugs into the loader there, and you just got your little winch controller there. Right, so what we want to do first is pull it back to about there while we're letting the winch out, and making sure that the winch always has a bit of tension on it so that the boat doesn't come back too far. Now that we're at that point, quickly chuck these wheels on.
So these wheels are just stored in the toolbox at the front, and just some pins. And there's some substantial wheels too. So again, this is going to be a registered trailer that you can unload and then drive to your boat ramp. So yeah, that's the concept. You know, if you're you know, the thing is, you can do this on your own within 5 minutes, say, very easily. Once we've done this, we'd unhook the trailer, you got your vehicle, and you can drive now this tinny down to the water's edge, launch the boat, bring it back up. So, you know, I mean, yeah, a lot of people say, well, why don't you just have it upside down? But, you know, having a boat upside down, I've got a little 3-metre punt. We took to Fraser Island and we've been using that a bit, but it's a big effort to you know, turn a tinny upside down, chuck on top of the roof of the trailer, salt water and sand go all over it, and you know, a boat this size, 100 kilos, you're going to need, you know, 2 or 3 guys, and then the motor as well. And so the concept is you don't need to do that, it's ready to go.
Right, so there's our wheels. Now the loading arms, you can chuck them on now, just on the bottom.
So there's a ball hitch there, that's not for towing, right? The ball is just to receive that bracket that takes those bars. So the secret of all this Mozzie loader is those support bars that pivot this trailer down.
Alright, so if you pull those up there, we're just at the point where we can hook those onto the trailer itself. So we've pulled it back just far enough so that we can hook these bars on. So now we'll do that. And that's what's going to take the weight as we bring the trailer down. Just has to come a little bit further back for this one.
We've only done this once before as well, so like anything, you need a little bit of practice to get it right.
So
that's it.
Now that's hooked on, ready to go. We've got to find the point at which it starts ticking up. So push it from here. Out there like that.
Just
Yeah,
up
we
there.
got it to there.
You can see that you know, the keg and the prop does not hit the ground. Now this trailer too is they're basically manufactured to suit your application. So those wheels could be on a taller supports, and you know, these are pretty much custom made for your requirements. So we're not making this trailer, it's a Mozzie boat loader from Echuca in Victoria. We gave him the specs of the boat, 3.7, trailer, the height, and he made it up for us. Haven't fitted the jockey wheel yet. We've got to do that.
That's basically where you put your jockey wheel down and you're good to go.
That's it. So the concept is we've got our base camp on the .7. Right, we got the big awning, got the fridge, got the kitchen, the battery. So that's our base camp. There's a shower, ensuite. The ensuite's got to go on yet, but that's your base camp. You pull up at west coast of Fraser, or you know, up the dam, wherever you want to go. You've got your base camp with all your gear. You quickly take your boat off. You don't have to be at the boat ramp. You can do this at your camp. You'll unhook your vehicle, and then you've got your tinny drive to wherever you want to go. So that's it. And I mean, there's no problems, Kylo, with, you know, we went down the road the other day, it's on the videos, there's no lift, there's no movement. It looks a little ungainly.
You have to go on bloody quick. Like, it rides pretty nice, and like the bulk of your weight is down low, really. So,
yeah. Yeah, that's right. You got your twin water tanks. This is independent suspension, which is a little bit heavier chassis. It's a 7-foot trailer. You can see the spare tyres not at the back, the spare tyres at the front to help balance it out. We've got really good downball weight on the trailer, and you know, at 100 k's an hour down the Buckets Way, it drives really steady, and that's because it's balanced really nicely. So that's it. As you can see, also, now we haven't, this is a new boat, but your petrol tank's in there. All right, all your gear, your crab pots, your fishing rods, life jackets, all in there. We'll have a, you know, a cover over this, like a canvas cover, and away you go. So that's a pretty good sized boat. A 3.7 is a minimum you might want to use up the Cape or the Gulf, or you know, it's an outback version. It looks a bit high on the trail, but this is also a high-sided boat. The Explorer Outback from Quintrex is a high-sided boat, so it does look a little bit high on the top, but that's just, you know, if you weren't going to go up the Gulf, for example, and you wanted just a normal tinny, you'd have a lower tinny. It wouldn't look so high. Right, mate. Thanks for that.
No worries.
That's the Mozzie boat loader on the Dot trailer.